one project that I am very bullish on, and I know Mike is also very bullish on, is called
my
Haws.
God, I already knew it. I already knew it was coming.
Haws
Haws is a low-key sleeper right now.
it is a sleeper.
No one is talking about Haws besides 420.
Yep, and then
420's group. That's it.
That's our boy from Rug Burners. If you'd like to,
Rug Burners Digits, check them out.
yes, Rug
Super
Burn,
slept on projects.
very slept on.
Rug Burn was the more recent project. Digits was before that. However, they're both still running. Successful Alpha Group coming out with a great tool, which we should probably talk about in another episode.
Yes, definitely will.
I mean, there's a whole Twitter thread on it if you want to go check out their Twitter page. What they're doing is something similar to what NanoPass did with the black boxes. It's a great concept, which I think is going to become even bigger and more popular in the future.
Yes,
I mean, back to our point about Haws.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Project, no, you're good. Project is definitely a sleeper. No one is really talking about this besides in Rugburn and Digits.
Yeah, so it's sitting at a 1.2 floor right now. Me and Mike actually recently scooped one. Mike pulled out Barrett 50 cal from COD 4. sniped this Haws for 0.69. He had an M40A3 with an ACOG scope, and it was 2009. It was the craziest thing
I had been hunting Haws down, though. I mean, I was watching.
He was watching
like
it every day.
Fucking like a hawk.
Yeah, he was watching it every day.
Because I faded the call on Haws.
We did fade the call. We could have scooped at 0.3.
Lower.
Yeah.
If we minted?
Oh, yeah. If we minted, yeah, we could have.
I mean, dude, what
was the public mint like? I don't know.
I know it minted out. I don't know.
It minted out off rip though, or it was like a day or something.
It wasn't a day. I think it was a few hours.
Okay, all right.
And I think that it was also like a fairly cheap mint price.
Yeah, the mint price had to have been cheap.
Yeah,
it had to have been cheap. It was probably like under 0.1.
The reason why do you want to kind of dive into Haws as far as details about the project?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
So Haws is run by the admin is Asa.
Yeah.
Now Asa has had his hands in a lot of different businesses over the years. He talks about his past. You can look up his autobiography somewhere on his Twitter. It should be, or maybe in the Haus Discord under FAQ or info. But he talks about how he was a former Apple employee. He's worked as a software engineer. There's quite a few different things in his background, but I mean, the collaborations that we're seeing coming out of this project, they just recently purchased a Takashi Murakami physical art piece of flowers.
Yes.
I forget the size of it.
They are going to be splitting it up. I think it's 118 pieces.
Yeah, I think so.
100 something.
I think it's 144.
Oh. Okay, yeah, it's 100.
Something like that. Something like that. And they're cutting it up, and they're giving each holder of Haus. They were randomly drawn depending on serial numbers of the pieces, and they're mailing them to each of the holders. Not that crazy, but I think it's pretty creative. I think it's a cool way to incorporate physical art in the NFT space, especially because Takashi Murakami's art, anything he puts his hands on is a gold mine.
Yep.
So that being said, it's cool that he's going to give his holders, an incentive just for holding, and who knows what we'll see in the future.
Yeah,
so
definitely, yeah.
Not only that, but we're seeing some huge collaborations come out of it as well.
Yeah,
we've seen Karafuru.
Yep.
I don't know. So me and Antonio were talking about this before. We're not sure if it's
confirmed.
Not sure if it's confirmed, but there is some artwork that he's made out of Muri, which is the partner project to Haus. So if you're a holder of Haus, you get whitelist for Muri. Muri is an upcoming anime project. Hasn't released yet, but these collaborations that we're seeing from Muri are huge. Like I said,
you can see the Muri Karafuru collab that they made. They made an art collab up on the screen right now.
What else? What are the other collaborations on Muri? If you could pull them up there, they should be right on the front page. There was Karafuru. They're also doing, which I think is a great piece of the roadmap. This is something unique that we haven't seen yet with anime, which I think is awesome. Why would they just make? I'm sure maybe Azuki could do something like this in the future. I'm not sure of their roadmap too much. I wasn't minter or holder of Azuki. Kind of out of reach for us, obviously. But something that's great about what they're doing is, like I said, why would you not incorporate something with a show, an anime show? Obviously, all animes start either in a comic or a show. Mm-hmm. So what they're actually doing is they're making a show.
Yeah, an anime show.
An anime show with Muri. And I'm sure comics will probably come with that too.
Yeah, so I think that one thing they're going to do, I think, is that the show is going to, let's say, release every week or something like that, or every month. And I think that different pieces will become more valuable
Right, this is just
depending
what I
on
was
what the
gonna say.
show is. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really great piece because, in a lot of these projects, what you see is obviously you have your floor pieces, which aren't bad to have. If you like the project, if you're bullish on it, their roadmap, whatever, if you want to just hold a comment or that's what you pull out of a mint, and you like it, that's cool. But I think what's cool is when they kind of switch it up and say, obviously we have our rares, but commons can also be sought after as well.
Yes, yeah.
These commons can play a role in maybe,
Eventually.
in maybe big episodes, depending on what they do with the storyline.
Yeah.
So
they actually have collabs with Karafuru, and they also have a collab with Mechaverse, which was a big
Mechaverse,
project.
yep.
But
They got a little backlash for the Mechaverse. Not many people. If you look in the comments in the thread, not many people liked that. Mechaverse was kind of a dud as far as the artwork. It was good, but a lot of it looked the same, and I think a lot of people. It was just kind of one of those overhyped projects, almost like a Hate Beast.
Yeah.
Almost like that. I think even it has more respect in the space. Hate Beast does.
Yeah.
Than Mechaverse.
Yeah. So one thing that we didn't say about Haws is Haws. If you own a Haws, you get a guaranteed whitelist to mint Muri, which is their sister project that they released. And it kind of followed the anime meta when they released it. So, we kind of saw it was like, I don't know. But then when we saw that it was backed by Haws and that Haws was the one releasing it, we were like, all right, we know this is the real deal because Asa, the dev, he's the real deal.
He is the real deal. I think he's going to do great things for the community. One thing he's also doing with Haws, the main project, the first one that was created, is that there's modules. These modules, they look kind of like a little radio, and what they will do is act as a mint pass for any upcoming projects.
Anything, not just Muri. Anything that
under Haws,
under
Asa.
Anything that Asa also releases, you will also get past that. So it's not like something that because most mint passes, let's say you got a mint pass to a secondary project. Most mint passes, you'll acquire it. You utilize the mint pass, and then you kind of want to dump it after. I mean, you don't really not necessarily
Either that or it gets burned.
Yeah, exactly, or it gets burned once you mint. So it's nice to have something that's like, all right, because we know that Asa is the real deal. He, like you said, he has collaborations with Apple, right? He worked at Apple.
He worked at Apple, yeah.
He worked at Apple, So the only thing that I would
obviously, we could go get a job as a salesman at Apple.
100%.
We're not talking Apple salesman on the floor. We're talking, one of these lead software developers, something along that nature.
Yeah.
Obviously, he doesn't want to reveal too much what he was because people could probably go and dox him if he were to reveal his exact position.
Yeah.
Under Apple. But yeah, I mean, we're super bullish on Haws.
Yeah, because one thing I would like Asa to do is dox himself. I feel like if Muri does come out and Asa did dox himself completely, I feel like it would make everything so much more. Everybody would be so much more bullish on the project.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, it's like, do you think he could get a backlash from those previous companies? Like, do you think it could be a conflict of interest sort of situation?
I feel like no. I feel like so one.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking like sharing information regarding like technology,
maybe
and things like that, like in terms of security and blockchain and things like that.
Yeah. They might be able to, they might have some backlash from the from let's say his bosses at Apple. Let's just say he works for Apple, but I just think that for him in the long run, it'll make him so, because I mean he's already making money off of the Haws royalties. He's already making money off the royalties. If he were to do that, he could quit his job at Apple if he had a job at Apple. I mean, he could quit. Yeah. He could.
Well, he
Doxing
previously
yourself just makes the project so much more bullish, and people will just be way more interested in Muri. People will be way more interested in Haws. We can see the floor of Haws go to 5.
I think the mainstream thing, which is we see a lot right now, which is devs being doxed. It's more trustworthy.
Yes, way more trustworthy.
But I think the big thing in the future is don't even touch a project where the devs aren't doxed. I think that's going to be a big thing in the future, unfortunately.